Are you a small to medium-sized business owner in the state of California and just getting crushed on your insurance for your general liability, workers' comp, cybersecurity? Or you're a large business owner who is getting crushed times two because of those things? Well, if you do, you're going to want to listen today because I have the pleasure of spending some time today with my good friend Jimmy Kinmartin. Jimmy's a absolute expert and specialist in the commercial insurance space. I'm not here to make like a referral. I'm trying to make an introduction to someone who's just exceptional at what he does, and he's a great friend. So I hope you enjoy the time. And let me tell you a quick story. Jimmy, thanks for taking the hot seat today. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I appreciate you reaching out to join you here today.
Yeah, I love it. Let's talk about the two most important things in your life that are not your family. Number one, as we film today, Wednesday, October 1st, Shohei Ohtani, starts off their playoff series and just launches a home run. And then the Dodgers go on a hitting escapade yesterday, which had to just make you feel ecstatic to start. Because, the Dodgers have a long history of winning, and they also have a recent history of struggling sometimes in the playoffs. So yesterday was a great day for you.
It was. Whenever the playoffs come around, Dodgers are the Dodgers, but there's never ease,
Yeah.
When they came out of the gates hot, it makes me a little bit less stressed watching those games in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was fun. Quick opinion. I'm a psychotic baseball fan. I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. Don't ask. It's a long story. And this is not I'm a small market guy. You're a big market guy. I'm going to give you my opinion on this in just a second. But I always ask people their opinion because I've got two friends who played Major League Baseball, and I love hearing their opinion about this next comment. You're not a Dodger fan for just a minute, right? Take yourself out of that equation. They can spend more money than anybody. Now, the Mets this year obviously showed it doesn't matter how much you spend, you can still not make the playoffs.
Correct.
If you were the commissioner and you had to deal with the imbalance of that, do you allow the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers and the Red Sox to continue to get these special contracts and deals to not? There's just never going to be a balanced field. So you're not a Dodger fan. Give me 30 seconds. Would you make changes or would you keep it the way it is?
I don't know. I mean, that's beyond my pay grade. There's all these sports, all these professional sports have their own ways of doing things. But I mean, at the end of the day, you still have these small market teams, the Brewers in there. I mean, the Reds right now, they're good stories. I think
For sure.
the playoffs will come around and you get these scrappers that will sometimes rise to the top and knock the Dodgers out. So
Which, and we've seen that, right? The Royals a couple years ago, and you're absolutely right. I love seeing that. One other quick thing on that. I was in Pittsburgh a couple years ago, front row seat, cost me $27.
there you go.
A beer was $6. So I told my wife, like, I'm getting season tickets to the Pirates. She's like, you're a loser. But I'll tell you what was interesting. Behind me were 3 season ticket holders for like generational season ticket holders. And they hate the owner. And I'm thinking to myself, small market team, why do you hate the owner? And here's the problem in Major League Baseball with the revenue share. The Pittsburgh Pirates get a fair amount of money from Major League Baseball for
Right.
that. The problem is they're not mandated to spend it. So the Pittsburgh Pirates payroll, if it's $42 million, they're still getting 40, 50 million bucks from Major League Baseball. And then they're still making some money, concessions, ticket sales,
Sure.
all that stuff. And I figure there's got to be enough owners in the world that are billionaires that want to own teams. How do you give them 50 million bucks and not mandate and say your payroll's got to be 50 million bucks? And I do think that's one of the challenges with it.
I don't know all the ins and outs, but if they're getting that money and it's not being mandated to spend on the team, I'd be pissed as a fan.
You gotta spend it, right?
I'd be pissed.
Like-
Now that's a different story. Yeah.
I mean,
you got to respect the Dodgers though. I mean, there's all the money in the world, but they're putting it in the right places. They're bringing the fans what they want to see, and they're not pocketing it. They're just keep growing.
They're spending it. The Warriors in basketball, they'll pay the penalty, threshold tax, all that stuff. One more just fun, quick personal item. As we're filming today, we just got to watch the Ryder Cup, right? Very, very disappointing. I'm going to make a comment, and I'm curious for a guy like you who's psychotic about golf, about what your take is. In the first couple days, to me, it wasn't so much that the U.S. was playing poorly, because some of the scores, these guys were shooting like 10, 12 under.
Yeah.
Every time the U.S. did something like great, like a long birdie putt or a great chip or something exceptional, Europe responded. So what happened is the U.S. played really good and got a par or a birdie, every time they got a par, Europe either got a par or they beat them with a birdie. And every time USA got a birdie,
Yeah.
they matched it or beat it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think it was as much as the USA lost. I just felt like Europe one-upped them on every
Yeah.
great thing they
Match
did.
play.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
And now, so with that, what do you think about that? And more importantly, did you, like I did, think about midway through Sunday after 4 matches that we had a chance to run the table?
It was wild because being a family man, Sundays are always busy days.
Yeah,
I was not able to really watch it
Yeah.
direct, but
Yeah.
my phone was
On your
blowing
phone,
up.
getting
Yeah,
alerts,
yeah, I
yeah.
had it on my phone, and friends were just texts were coming through, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm looking
Yeah.
at the matchup. It's all red, and I'm just like, holy cow. What was it? Hovland had his shoulder, so he had to sit it out, and they had to
Yeah.
share a half point. And all of a sudden, that became a conversation. So
Yeah.
it made for an interesting finale, but they were
Yeah.
so far behind. But you're right, match play. The Europeans so passionate. You
Oh my
can't
gosh.
like
They were nails.
yeah.
And watching, I love watching golf.
Yeah, same.
Watching Justin Rose at his age and what, like, he's money. He's just, his pairing on Saturday was just like, I wouldn't want anyone else out there other than that guy. Like, he's just
I think
been
with
through it.
45 and to be doing that, I mean, 20 years, people 20 years less than him, and he's always bringing it too.
Yeah.
By the way, one of my best friends thinks I'm a doppelganger of him, but no one else really thinks that. But I got a couple texts about that over the
Yeah,
weekend.
I love that. It was fun, that's for sure. And I love playoff baseball. I don't watch a ton of baseball during the regular season.
Yeah.
Love playoff baseball.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. Like, I think at like 10 o'clock this morning, the Guardians are
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah. It's a good time of year.
Yeah, it's a great
And
time
I
of
will
year.
say too, I mean, I live in Orange County, and I've grown up in Orange County, and I respect the Angels, and I actually prefer to go in Angels games.
Yeah.
Again, ticket prices, ease of getting in and out of
Chavez
there.
Ravine is not the easiest place to go see. a
No,
game.
it's getting those offers and just having to decline. I mean, 3 hours to get in and out of there alone is it's tough. So
especially when you got young kids.
big time. Yeah.
I get invited to a lot of Dodger games
Yeah.
because I've got a good client that works for the Dodgers. My whole family's in that area. My friends are on that area. I'm originally from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I get offers a lot for great seats. And my standard line is, I'll go on a Saturday night.
Yeah. Maybe midday Sunday afternoon at 1
I don't even want to do a Sunday day game because it's too hot.
I know.
I'll do a Saturday night because it only takes 2 hours instead of 3.5.
Yeah.
During the week, it's just impossible.
It's a great scene, but it's also a scene getting in and out of there as well. But when you're in the park, there's nothing better than Dodger
Nothing
Stadium.
like it. Have you ever done any traveling baseball? Have you been to like Fenway or the Bronx or
the Fenway's my wife is killing me to get to Boston, and if we do, it has to be revolving around baseball season and Fenway. But yeah, every NL West stadium I've hit up, and then
nice.
As avid of a baseball fan as I am, I have a lot more to see.
Yeah.
But I have made a point to go see my Dodgers everywhere they've ever
I love
played in
that.
the West and stuff. So
Ever been to Wrigley?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you walk in there and it's just a cathedral of just
Especially
you
if you
feel
love
the
baseball.
difference. Oh yeah.
I've done 2 back east trips where I've hit like 8 stadiums in 9 days.
Amazing.
And I've been to Fenway twice.
Okay.
And,
I want to go to Pittsburgh.
oh
Oh
man,
my
it's-
gosh, man, that backdrop.
The great thing about Pittsburgh is the hotels are inexpensive. You walk across the bridge, you literally get like a second row seat for like $36, and they have an Iron City beer that's $6 and $8 instead of $26, and good value for your money.
As
that's
a
for
baseball
sure.
fan, it's a must. I can't. Looking at that yellow bridge out in the outfield, it looks
it's-
amazing.
And then in the skyline, and then we'll talk podcast. And the skyline, when you're sitting looking out, the mountains behind it look like Sedona. It becomes this crazy, like orange brown, just beautiful. Like, I hate to be that old guy who's talking about like landscape, but when you're sitting at home plate and you're out there like at a 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's one of the most serene things in the world.
One of the good things about baseball,
Yeah, the views and all of
Yeah.
it. We'll talk a little bit more personal later. Let's just jump into work a little bit. As we're filming here in October of 2025, the last 3 to 5 years, I'm going to say in the insurance space in California has been a disaster. I've had people on about residential. We all know and hear insurers are leaving, then they're coming back. Premiums are going up, not enough money in a fair plan. You're in the commercial space. And I know there's some people who think it's The challenges are limited to residential. I also know that most people, I'm a business owner. I'm also aware that most people don't realize the increased cost of workers' comp, the increased necessity in cybersecurity, the increased cost in general liability. And I think sometimes people don't realize when you got businesses leaving California, there's a lot of things that come into play. Insurance has to be one of their top 3 to 5 line items on their P&L. And I just don't think enough people, I always say like there's 4.3 listeners we have. I don't think people realize the impact that the insurance landscape has caused, especially on small to medium sized businesses. You look at a massive company that's got Anheuser-Busch, or you got some big company in California. I'm not saying the premium increases don't matter. They don't really matter. But the small, medium sized businesses are getting crippled. So that was a big preface. What's the 3 biggest challenges right now facing small to medium sized businesses when it comes to the general liability, workers' comp, and cyber obviously is probably a topic of its own. But what are kind of some of the biggest challenges right now that those small to medium sized businesses are encountering?
So with insurance, it's really tailored industry, your carriers, a general contractor has a totally different exposure, of course, than a mortgage broker. California has always been a beast, rate wise and
Yeah.
everything. I think one or two other states in the union are as expensive as California. Um, Surprisingly, okay, property insurance is obviously tough.
Sure.
It's become pretty stabilized overall, but like you own an apartment building, probably the toughest you're ever going to see right now. But at the same time, if you own other properties, it's just not as extreme. Um, if you're in a business with commercial autos, that is the peak of difficulty right now.
Right now.
In California.
That the biggest.
Oh, yeah, your liability.
And I mean, we could all posture. You've been in the business a long time. I've spoken with you personally about my own insurance. I feel like you're like the smartest dude in the room. No, I mean it. And I know you would never say that. You know it and you care about it. What do you think is causing the auto part of it?
Yeah, it's coming from everywhere. So from the liability standpoint, commercial auto,
Yeah.
you see every billboard on the freeway, you get hit by a commercial vehicle, you
Okay.
call XYZ,
Yeah.
personal injury,
So
liabilities,
the lawsuits, the liabilities.
terrible. Yeah, I mean, a client of mine not long ago had a little fender bender on the freeway, pulled off the side of the freeway. Everybody was fine. Exchanged numbers, went on their way. Minor, damage to the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then I think 8 months later, here come the lawsuits from personal injury wanting to sue. $3 million personal injury, but
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is very prevalent. But from the property side of a vehicle, if you think about it, the technology has gotten so much greater.
Sure.
Sensors, the simple fender bender 20 years ago is now new sensors, new cameras. I mean, it's a total loss. So
the increase to repair the car
that's
because of all the new technology.
inflation, technology,
Okay,
distracted driving.
Yeah,
There's more
phones
accidents
and
happening. So
yeah.
it's just this total. And luckily in my day-to-day work, I don't really focus so much on contractors and those with big fleets, but
Sure.
that is a beast right now.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, work comp is the most competitive it's ever been. I mean, it's still very expensive
Interesting.
in California in comparison to the rest of the country.
And let's just dive into that. Why do you think that is? Like meaning competitive, meaning you're not seeing the substantial increase like you're on the commercial auto, let's say, but
Opposite.
it's
Opposite.
kidding.
Yeah. I mean, again, a contractor has high rates, but
Sure.
if you compare that to how it's been in the past, I think it's been happening since prior to COVID. But just medical, the money being paid for claims is less.
Interesting.
I don't know all the big reasons behind it, but
Yeah.
bottom line is carriers are profitable on it, and they are
Yeah.
hungry, and they are like all they want is to write work comp.
Interesting.
Our marketing reps are like, "Do you have work comp?" And
Interesting. Are you seeing, let me compare it to housing for a second, right? We know State Farm and farmers, everyone says we're not going to write anymore. And now we're going to write a little bit. And there's all this jockeying. But in the interim, when they weren't, there's a ton of non-admitted carriers that came into the market, which is fine.
Mhm.
People still got insurance. Is there more supply coming into the market? And that's obviously supply and demand, right? It's going to drop the price a little bit.
Right.
Is that one of the reasons
that is
also?
new entrants will come in when it's profitable and definitely want to
Okay.
get some of that.
by the way, like if you would have asked 10 people on a poll on LinkedIn, what would you say has happened to workers' comp in the last year? Higher, same, lower? I'd be willing to bet a lot of money. This is 9.3 out of 10 are going to say higher.
Oh yeah, I mean, work comp is it's a necessary evil. Yeah, it's always been that thorn. Surprisingly, and it's what's interesting too is you talk about technical things like experience modifications and whatnot. Carriers are just offsetting their rates to keep business, and
Yeah.
so there's going to be a time, and it's coming,
Sure.
I think, sooner than we think, but it'll start to harden as well, and
Yeah.
they all fluctuate. But I don't
But for
want
right now,
same thing with cyber is very competitive.
yeah.
Professional liability, directors and officers, but just a few years ago, those were some of the hardest markets
Interesting.
within insurance. So.
Let's talk about cyber, right? Because I mean, any business owner, and I don't care if you're Apple or if you're a two-person plumber shop, or
Yeah.
if it doesn't matter anywhere in there. If you have a computer, you're subject to it.
Totally.
And I don't think the hackers are going after the plumber as much as they are. And they're probably trying to penetrate Apple, but probably can't. But we know who's most vulnerable as we hear these cases of these medium-sized companies getting held hostage for $1 million, $2 million, whatever that number is.
mhm.
Real quick note on that. I think it's ironic that there are honest criminals out there.
I say it all the time.
I say my wife and I talk about it, I'm like, let me get this straight. They hacked their computer. They said, give us $1 million. They gave them $1 million and they gave it back to him. I'm like, that's the most honest criminal ever. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's in this space, and he's like, Chris, he's like, don't take this wrong. He's like, they don't want to get the bad reputation. Like, they're going to steal from you, but then they're going to give it back, because if they don't, then no one's going to pay.
Mhm.
Right. But there seems to be this like collusion of all these hackers that, no, give us the money. We'll give you your stuff back.
I always say, if these people, they're so smart that what they can do, but why don't
Yeah.
they put their
But
mind
then
into
they go
something
somewhere else.
Yeah, fruitful
Yeah.
in the world. But
Yeah.
um, it, cyber, like the rest of the cover. Cyber was really easy a while back. Kind of like you write your name on a paper. Here's your quote.
Yeah.
Got bad. A lot of claims. Carriers
Yeah.
were paying out, and they hit the brakes. They became very selective, very rigorous on what they want to see to qualify to
Sure.
purchase cyber coverage.
Sure.
And I think that's part, the measures that are being taken with things like multi-factor authentication and whatnot have tightened security controls. And I think kind of stabilized claims. That again is wild. Now it's
Yeah.
come to a point almost where write your name on a paper and here's your quote. I
So
mean, a
kinda-
little bit more to it, but still very kind of
Seems
easy.
like it kind of ebbs and flows
It
a little
does,
bit of,
yeah. Like all the markets and all the different various policies and coverages within insurance will ebb and flow like everything. But right now it's flowing nicely.
yeah.
And it's so important though, like you're saying, I mean, if we're all running everything we do on the cloud now. So
Sure.
you're so vulnerable. I mean, I think hackers are from what I read, are really going after those, maybe the smaller SMBs to, because maybe they're not guarding their networks as much as a big profile company.
Yeah.
But the importance of it is just, like you said, ransomware, hold you hostage,
Yeah.
pay us money. You'd be surprised. I mean, every manufacturers are running their entire plant on robotic equipment in the cloud, so they
Right.
can shut you down overnight.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
those type of, especially like the manufacturers, right? I mean, everything, whole world's computerized. I know that.
Yeah.
But I also know there's some industries that are even more specifically like 99.9% reliant on it.
Yeah.
With the way technology is advanced and helping manufacturers get better.
Yeah.
Right.
And being on the front line, like I've taken calls from like law firms they have trials today and they go into the office, their
They can't
phones
get-
are down, they can't get any files, they're
Yeah.
just freaking out. And that's when you see it firsthand, you realize how important it is to
Yeah.
like really think about.
What, give me just an opinion, because I know sometimes you guys can't state facts. So just an opinion. Does the cyber, I think one of the challenges with cyber insurance is I have cyber insurance.
Mhm.
I think, and it's not very expensive. I'm also, small business. I think a lot of people just they don't want to take the time to find out what's it going to give me. And then is it worth that line item? Right.
Yeah.
No one thinks they need it, by the way.
Totally.
And then when they need it, they're like, I can't believe
Exactly.
I don't have it. But give me 30 seconds on cyber insurance. If you got a ransomware or ransom, does the policy cover that? Or is it more like once you get your stuff back, then we'll come in, determine your losses, and then cut you a check? Like, kind of how does that work?
Yeah, great question. And so if you're getting a good policy, a good broker knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's two elements to it: first party coverage, third party coverage. The first party is your out of pocket expenses. have to pay a ransom. You have to get your network back up and running. You have to pay the costs to, just business interruption, things of
Yeah.
that nature. And then the third party element to that is liability. You get sued for
From one
your
of your
records getting
clients
breached,
or
right?
breach of confidential
Government
information.
fines and whatnot.
Got it.
So, now these are not one size fits all policies. You want to make sure you don't even think about buying cyber unless you put both the first and third party in there together. I think first party is almost more important in many ways because you just need to get your business back and
Right.
going.
You got to get the lights turned back on.
That's it. Yeah.
And I'm not speaking for every business owner. Someone with 25 to 100 employees, I'm almost guessing right now, they may not have $500,000 in cash or $250,000 in cash or whatever the number is to say, I can't even turn the lights back on.
Yeah.
Like how am I going to do that? And then hopefully with the right policy, they can at least turn the lights back on. And then, yes, and then you can only worry about the next day when the next day comes. But I got to imagine, like, especially those type of companies, they really need a stronger cyber policy that's going to kind of give that phase one, would you call it?
Yeah. Like first party
first
data
party.
breach. Yeah. First party coverage.
Just to get the lights turned back on, right?
And I think that's what's so important too about working with a good managed service provider, like handling all your computer network. I mean, it's super important for all those security measures to be put in place.
Yeah.
Imperative. And I think to complement those services with a cyber policy to maybe help those people, and the carriers also have their teams of people getting you back in order.
I was going to say, does a carrier come in if
Yeah.
you make that phone call and say, I'm in ransom, I need help? Like, do they have a team that like someone picks up the bat line?
Yeah,
and
about
says-
24/7.
Right?
Yeah.
And says, hey, I'm from the insurance company and I'm going to help you get your stuff back.
They do,
right?
from attorneys down to the technical people. Yep. And
That's good to
a big
know.
piece
I
of
would have
it.
never, I guess in my lack of knowledge, I would have never thought that was available.
That's the general public's perception, and being on the
Yeah.
other side and seeing really what is provided on the carrier
Yeah.
side is.
Okay, I'm going to give you an unsolicited opinion right now, because when you're 58 and you're old like me, you can just start saying shit and people like have to be like, oh, there's the old guy, tell me what to do. And I know we just talked about it briefly before we started filming. You should put that on video. You should do a 7-minute video, 5-minute video only on cyber and just a quick bullet points. And just so much of like if someone reaches out to you for insurance or you're one of your existing clients, it's like, listen, make sure your policy has first and second.
No, you're right.
Because, first of all, 80% of the small businesses are shopping for Geico or Progressive for cyber insurance, right? Because everyone goes to the internet. I think that type of video stuff would be so valuable to someone coming in or someone who's like, I don't even know if my broker gave me that. So
yeah. And that's the thing. Like it goes with all industries. As a broker, in most cases, you're not really paying for my expertise and services. We might be compensated by the carrier that we place your coverage with. So for you to try and do it yourself versus just have somebody that's an expert at it,
crazy.
It's just going to save you more in the long run when stuff happens.
There's a reason I don't fix toilets.
Exactly.
Like it's not that I don't want to. One of the worst things in my 32-year marriage, I love my wife. I hate her sometimes. And she's heard me say that, by the way. I hate that her father, my father-in-law, one of the greatest men in the world, knew how to fix everything. I was raised, there's 5 of us. My old man lived with us, but he was never around. And my mom had to hire the plumber. She had to hire the electrician. I don't know how to do anything.
I'm with you, man.
But then I marry this beautiful woman whose father was old school Chicago and a county worker. Like he could take two toothpicks and build a house. And it's like, so there's a reason I don't change electrical and gas and
sometimes YouTube works, right? But I'm with you, man.
I've tried that. I'm still not great at it. But the moral of that story is, listen, I'm all in for let me go see what's on the internet and can I figure out how to put a Coca-Cola bottle on my wrench and take the rest away? Like I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I think, and the same thing in my world, so many people, they're relying on the internet, whether it's insurance, financial services, mortgage, whatever it is. It's like I try and tell people, like, use the internet for information. Like I love the information on the internet. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to ask you the 3 most important questions. Like for instance, oh, you need cyber insurance? Oh, it's only $300 a year. Well, what? Oh, it doesn't have this ability. So if you get ransomed, do you have $250,000 to pay someone?
Missed that one, I did it myself.
And if not, you could have spent $200 more, or I mean, but you probably
Right.
you probably deal with it all the time.
I think we all do in what we do in our day-to-day lives. I mean, and I've learned over my time, sometimes trying to get things done the inexpensive way, and then it just comes back around and blows up on
For
you, and you
for
just look back like, I knew it.
for sure.
So
Um, let's talk about a couple fun. Actually, that's not true. Let me stick to insurance for just a second. What's your sweet spot? Like if you woke up tomorrow on Thursday and said, if I get 5 phone calls of people who need me, this is my sweet spot. Like this is where I think I'm really like, I know you're never going to self promote, but like this is an area I think I'm really good at, and I love it, and I love helping people with it. What would you say that is?
I really have immersed my studies, my focus. I really like the white collar professional service providers. I like the professional liability, the cyber employment practices liability, more of those management liability, professional liability areas. A lot in my industry, and it's no question why. I mean, there's a big focus on the high rate work comp, contractors, manufacturers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do work in those areas, but I prefer the management. I like
Professional
working with
services.
professional service the lawyers, the accountants, the
Yeah.
technology. They're just my people,
Yeah.
I work well with them. And that's where my knowledge really
Yeah.
has been pushed and
Hey,
focused.
listen, don't again, the 58-year-old who has unsolicited opinions. I'm so fortunate to have so many great relationships, friends, business clients, all this stuff. And one of the things I try, like I had a friend of mine ask one time, he says, "Do you love mortgages?" And I said, "Nobody loves mortgages."
Yeah, right.
But what I love about my job is I have found a path where I like helping people. I think I'm pretty good at math, and I'm really more of an educator. Like you ask any of my kids, like I'm still a coach, right? Even
Mhm.
I coach them all in sports and all that stuff. I think sometimes when you know what you like, I think you're better at it,
Yeah.
right? Because you like I always make the same salmon for my wife twice a week, and I keep
Sounds like
saying,
my house.
"Do you want me to try a different recipe?" She's like, "No." She goes, "It's the best one you make." And so what I've learned is, I think one of the reasons I'm good at it is because this particular I like making it, and so I think for you, you're happy, like you like
Yeah.
that, you feel like you excel, you feel like you speak better, you feel like you
Yeah.
present better, you feel like you offer better. I say, when people can find out what it is that they like, and then they're better at it, just
And I've
do as much
learned
of it you can.
from the people that we're surrounded by, and how you and I met. I mean, man, maybe it's just the way things have become is just being a lot more niche driven, be an expert in one area. There's so much it doesn't matter if you're an attorney, if you're an
Yeah.
there's so many industries and coverages. I mean, to try and be everything to everybody is not going to help
hard.
us. But yeah, just dialing in and focusing
Yeah.
on something that you're good at and you like.
I'm gonna tell you one quick thing, and then we'll talk about some fun stuff. For my entire career in the mortgage business, I've had a number of roles. I've owned my own company. I've managed 100-person teams. I've worked for small organizations. And anytime I was coaching loan agents, sales guys, I would always focus on one thing. And I would tell them, find what you do best and just be the best at that. Like I remember this one gal I met with, she was really struggling. And I said, "What are you passionate about? Like, what just drives you?" She goes, "Divorced women." I'm like, "Okay, let's set up a marketing strategy to go after family law attorneys and go after the scorned women." Like, not really, but that was her deal. And over time, she realized it doesn't mean that she didn't get opportunities in other areas. She excelled at it. So here's the irony of that. I've preached that my whole career to friends, and I've never done it myself. I have myself in
Hard.
7
doing
different
it.
directions all the time. And there's been a couple of times my wife, who's my biggest, she'll compliment me more than anyone. She'll be my biggest critic also. She's like, "Listen, I've heard you tell people this for years." She goes, "How come you got your hands in 6 things?" I'm like, I get bored with one thing. But when some people can channel and say, like, this is my core competency over anything else, and they can stick to it, I typically find those people that have the most success.
I'm getting there. I'm like you. I get distracted. And I mean, like on a day-to-day basis, I have this grand, here's my plan today. Here's my to-do list. And then, 15 minutes into your day, the phone starts ringing and you're just running all like, we're 8 hours later. Like I didn't do one of these things,
Yeah,
so
it's hard to stay disciplined on. But if I can encourage you into one thing,
yeah,
because the people that I've been fortunate enough to spend time with in my 32-year business career, majority of people who find what they do really well call it a niche or just call it like, this is my core competency.
Maybe the internet, that's the thing. People now can go research and find their way through, and now there's just more avenue to be found. I think, if you're in that little
For
tiny
sure.
little segment,
For
there's
sure.
people that need you.
There's some softwares that you can go in
Right.
and say, like we do this certain kind of niche loan at my company where we private money, irrevocable trust. You can actually go into some of these softwares and get really granular, like how many people searched Prop 19 irrevocable trust loans in
Yeah.
California
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
month or something like that. And
Exactly.
and then there's this other one called Ask Me or something like that.
I think, yeah.
And you can go in and say, what are first home buyers searching for on the internet?
Mhm.
What are law offices searching for insurance inquiries? And the monthly fee for the subscription is like nothing. It's like pennies. But you can actually see what people are looking for. And then I'm with you. Then you can kind of create, some of those niches.
It's great. And now this is a whole new rabbit hole, but you have Chat GPT, and sometimes I use it, but I can tell when I'm working with a prospect or something, the questions that they're asking
Come
are
from chat.
so deep.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you didn't think about this, on your own here.
No. They use chat for sure. First of all, I live on chat.
Yeah, it's addictive.
First of all, it's become my Google search, right? Which
Right.
I mean, I just planned. My wife and I just got back from a 21-day trip in Europe. 21 days.
Nice.
When I tell you, I planned every facet of 21 days on chat. My wife handled flights.
How'd it go? Would it all work itself?
It was a home run
Yeah.
because I wanted excursions
Yeah.
in Bilbao, Spain, and then
Found like these really unique.
it did. And then I said, okay, I get off the boat in Barcelona. I'm going to the airport. Here's when I arrive in Paris. I have 3 days. I want to do 3 excursions. And it just starts spitting
crazy.
out. And
Yeah.
so first of all, from just the Google Funds search part of it, I live on it
Yeah.
every day. It's helped me write some things a little bit better.
Yeah.
I love that the naysayers are like, well, it's not always true. Well, listen, neither is the internet and neither is my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
It's like anything, but the tools I use it for, I'm not building AI generated
Right,
workflows
right.
and things like that. It's not,
Having deep conversations with a robot.
No. but for that stuff, I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm with you.
Okay,
on that.
let's go back to personal for just a minute. 2 kids. How old are they?
Just soon to be 7, soon to be 5. 2 girls.
Anytime I have someone on here that has kids, my kids are grown. So give me 30 seconds. What's your biggest fear about your kids between now and before they go to college?
Well, they're girls. Social media, cell phones,
Yeah.
AI. I was talking with another dad. Like, I gotta have them prepared to, find a good career path.
Yeah.
I have a million thoughts on that one, but
Yeah.
I think the number one would be like social media and what you
Yeah.
hear about. Just trying to keep them away from the tablets, the phones for as long as I can before they
Yeah.
grow. Probably number one of all the million worries.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to that in a second. What's the thing you're most excited about?
Honestly,
Well, first of all, this weekend you're going camping.
I am. I
mean, that
this is the stuff I love. Yeah, I'm doing a daddy daughter Catalina camp out. These like daily, weekly activities. I honestly just
I feel you're
so excited about. I'm not trying to race. Like, I'm not like trying to make time go faster. I'm trying to relish. Like, I'm a little bit late to the game being a dad, so I'm able to see where nephews and nieces and friends, like how fast it goes. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to really enjoy today as much as I can, because I know, I'm just blinking my eyes as we speak and just growing up. So
you have a great disposition. I'm going to tell you really quick my podcast name. Let me tell you a quick story. That's how they came up with my podcast name, because I always say to people, well, let me tell you a quick story. My daughter's 30. Now we're very close. We talk.
That's what I hope happens.
Yeah. We have a beautiful relationship. She's still stupid sometimes because she's 30 and she doesn't listen to the podcast. So I can say that. We did Indian Princesses, same. And if you asked my daughter, like, top 3 moments as a kid with me as a dad, Indian Princesses is one of them, that dad-daughter stuff. The very first time we went to Catalina, Howland's Landing, my daughter was kind of like this girly girl in the beginning. Now she's a complete healthy balance of everything, but she was kind of a girly girl. So my wife packs her this mermaid thing with all of her underwear and her clothes and her shoes. And, on those weekends, I may or may not have had a few red cups. They're in the water and the sand for 2.5 days. And fast forward, we come home and my wife starts unpacking her bag and she's like, "Did Amanda change your underwear?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And
Just
she's like, "Babe, what did she do?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, they were at the beach. She was in the water,
totally.
at that harbor." I'm like, "They were in the water all day." Then they went and did bow and arrows, and then they did rock climbing. And I said, "I don't know if she changed your underwear." She's like, "What?" So fast forward, my wife then subsequently finds out that at Indian Princesses, the dads, when the girls go to sleep, have red cuffs. And so my wife's like, "No wonder she didn't change her clothes."
Oh, it's so true.
All of a sudden, I'm in trouble.
I was laughing. Went to another one last year, and I'm just man. If our wives look, everybody's safe. The girls are doing great. They're just having a ball. But dads are just we got it. But it's
It's
we do
different.
it differently.
It's I have one objective, and that, like, literally, like, she doesn't drown. Everything else,
100%. And it's hey, you love to see them run around just having the best times ever. You
of
know.
course.
Yeah.
Well, and what my wife didn't realize, and when you share and do the download with your wife about it, I think one of the best things about those trips is my daughter didn't want to be with her dad, right?
Hmm.
She wanted to be with the girls.
Totally.
There were times, when it was a campfire at night, you're singing a song or something. Of course, she sat in my lap. When she wanted a Pop Tart, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wanted me there, but for the most part, she didn't want me
Yeah.
around.
That's how it goes.
And dads, the girls couldn't go up in the mountains. The dads all kind of hung out by the water,
Yeah.
and we could see the whole camp
Yeah.
in front of us. We knew where they were
Yes.
to a certain degree.
Yeah. And just trusted. They're with their friends.
But it wasn't like she wanted to hang out with dad. She was with all of her friends.
That's what I
so-
learned too. Yeah. But those moments, she'll they come up, Dad, love you.
Oh my
You're just
gosh.
not gonna forget it.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you remember one thing from our short time together, I can't wait 4 years down the road when she's no longer in it, and you look back and say, "I can't believe how much fun that was."
You're probably the fifth, sixth dad that's told me, gosh, back in the day, I remember Indian Princesses, and
gosh.
you've got to join it.
So fun. I did guides with my son. Like, it was just, yeah. So anyway, you're
Yeah.
gonna have a great
No,
time.
that's why I'm all about it, and that's what just living the day every day and
Yeah.
the moment, and knowing how fast it goes, and just enjoying it.
Goes fast.
Yeah.
Favorite steakhouse?
Oh.
Because I know how much you
I
love
love
steak.
steak.
Yeah.
I think I told you, I just
You just
generally
love
love
steak.
a dark steakhouse, mahogany, walls.
Yeah.
Honestly, the one thing about my wife and I is we don't stick to one place and just go over and over. We always want to explore
Try
and find
somewhere
others.
different.
I mean, even like a Fleming's, Mastro's. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
go wrong. But a steakhouse. I
Yeah.
mean, just exploring. Just if it's a dark, nice steakhouse,
Little
an evening out
more
with
nostalgic, little more
little old
school.
fashioned steak, red wine.
Yeah.
That would be my last meal.
Yeah, I love that. I feel the same about red meat.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something that's interesting is, I love where we live. Mastro's, all
Right.
those places are great. We're in New York a couple times a year because one of our very best friends lives there, so we go see them. Great steakhouses in New York. But I'll tell you something that I found. We've been to Europe a couple times. We've been to Spain and Italy and some different spots. This is just an opinion. The best steaks in the countries I've been in is in the United States.
Okay.
Just an opinion.
Yeah.
And I know people say got to go to Argentina. There's some, but I'll tell you this: the red meat. I don't care what they pump into it. The red meat in California is unlike anything. But
Yeah.
but here's what's interesting. We all know the cost of going out
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
these steakhouses, and Chris and I do it. My wife. We do the proverbial once or twice a year. Really, just we're
Kinda like
going to
us.
Mastro's after the show at Segerstrom or something like
Yeah.
that. We actually enjoy just Costco filet
Oh,
and
yeah.
making it home as much because there's been some places where, like, well, I'm getting filet. And we go there, and don't be wrong, it's always good, but I'm thinking $64 and it was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, it tastes great.
Right.
But I could stay home and make it, and I'm not spending $250.
Yeah.
And so
I'm at that stage in my life. I love to have a dinner party. Go to one or host one. Just
yeah.
buy the primes
Same.
at Costco.
Yeah.
Just if you know how to cook them,
Yeah.
just do it right. And then just wine again, kids are always playing around
Yeah.
in many cases. I love that. I love it. We
Yeah.
do it a lot.
We're the same.
What's your favorite cut steak?
I mean, I'm a filet guy.
Okay.
How about you?
I mean, it's a pretty common answer, but I mean, ribeye for a long time. But now
Yeah.
New York. New York is
Okay.
New York is it right now.
So the majority of my friends who I would call like better and smarter than me, who are steak guys, it's only ribeye. like it's not even
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Like for them, it's just like there's no other steak. And for me, it's like there's nothing close to a fillet. So
Oh,
I
fillet's
love
great.
I think one of the reasons we were talking about this earlier, I would never say this publicly, but I'm going to, but my wife would, and she doesn't always say nice things about me. She says my filet at home, our favorite steak is still Ruth's Chris,
Oh yeah.
but that's just doesn't mean they're
Yeah.
good. She would say today, other than Ruth's Chris, which is both of our personal favorites, she'll take my filet over everyone
Like
else's.
your salmon.
Yeah, she loves my salmon. That's about it. But I can't get the ribeyes down, no matter how much Matthew McConaughey videos I watch. No, I just that was a little bit of a tough one. So that's my
There's a fine line between too rare and overcooked.
for,
Yes.
for sure. So I'm a filet guy because I can do it with my eyes closed. We're gonna wrap up, but I want to do two more quick things. One fun and one work related. Let's talk about the work related one. Tell me what you think. How do you help your business owners overcome the objective of I can't afford better insurance? Like, how do you just help them? And some you might say, Chris, it's impossible, right? You know they need it. They know they need it. They know they're at risk. They know they. How do you help them overcome that when it, especially a small to medium sized business, right?
Yeah.
Because they're looking at every single penny they're spending.
I think it's kind of using those firsthand stories that you have experienced with other clients of how much more is it going to cost if you don't do it in many
Yeah.
cases. I mean, yes, you have options, and yes, it's understandable that there's costs associated with it, but here's the cost of risk. This is what could happen if you want to try
Yeah.
and save money up front. And there's many, especially in the time we're in right now, where businesses really do need to pick and choose where they're spending. And
Yeah.
it's really about just educating, just being transparent and educating them on this is option A, option B, and this is what the repercussions could be if you choose option A.
Yeah.
It's just transparency and education up
Yeah.
front.
Trying to get them to see it.
Yeah.
Last thing, and maybe one of the most important, you recently went to Scotland.
Yes.
How long was that a bucket list item? How was your wife with, how much is this going to cost us? How many rounds of golf did you play?
It was a perfect storm because my father-in-law had a big birthday, and it was on his bucket list.
He golf?
Oh yeah, he's a
Okay.
great golfer, and as well as my brother-in-law's.
Yeah.
So this was
You married the right family.
and this is like one of those times where you're playing with my dad and my brothers. Sure, you can play golf all you want. So
Okay, so
you just got to take advantage.
that's the green light. Honey,
But-
I'm with family. Like your dad told me I had to, right?
Yeah, and he put that on the radar several years out, and
Yeah.
we knew, and it was a family affair. My in-laws, my
Was it a
brothers.
whole, took your wife and kids?
We did that. I won't go. And we went to my direct family. We went on our own European excursion, and then
Sure.
we met all family in Scotland.
Okay.
And the guys played golf. I mean,
Yeah.
we got a chance to play. What we play 3 rounds. Old Course was the
Oh my
just.
gosh. What
I
a
know you're going. You're
dream.
going.
What a dream.
But
We're
yeah, just-
planning ours.
If you're a
yeah.
golf fanatic, honestly, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to St. Andrews, but when I got there and just being there is just like it's
More the nostalgia of it.
Oh
More
man,
like I can't
yeah.
believe I'm missing
It- and so that really just say I have done that now, and just the
Yeah.
memories I have is just unreal. I can't wait to hear your experience
Oh
when
my
you get a chance to
gosh.
go out there.
I
but-
love that. One last thing, and then I'm going to wrap up because I always have more things. Have you ever been to the Hall of Fame, Cooperstown?
No, I would love to.
Unsolicited opinion right now. Find someone, a friend, probably not. I'm not saying you can't take your wife. You do like 6 days back east because you can do Yankees, Mets,
Mm.
Red Sox, Pirates, Phillies, Orioles. Like they're all close.
Yeah.
But I've been to the Hall of Fame 3 times, and I will tell you, for anyone who even remotely likes baseball, like I literally still get chills about it. It is the
I can
most.
imagine.
It's
The stuff
just
you're saying, just like
it's just insane. It's just for a baseball person. It's just it's upstate New York. It's just this beautiful
sure.
small little town, and it's baseball everything. I'm grateful for the time.
I really appreciate.
Oh, dude, I
you
feel like
extending
I
this to
could
me.
talk to you for 3 hours. So
fast.
we're gonna wrap up. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look in that camera. Just tell people if they want to reach out to you, connect, whether it's look at their current insurance, whether it's talk about insurance, whether it's what golf course do I play in Scotland. Just look in that camera. Tell people how they can find you.
Please reach out to me anytime. I'm on all the socials. My name's pretty unique, Jimmy Kinmartin, LinkedIn, Instagram, my phone, email, anytime. Love to talk, whether it be the business stuff or golf, cooking steaks, good restaurants. I'm all about it. So
Yeah, I love
yeah.
that. We started off with saying if you're a small to medium-sized business owner and you don't even know what kind of insurance you have, and you want to make sure you've got the best coverage for cyber and workers' comp and general liability. Jimmy's not just a friend of mine. You can just hear the way he talks. He's an expert and he's passionate about it, which is an oxymoron. Like, who could be passionate about insurance? So please reach out to him. He's a great resource, Jimmy. Thanks for coming in today,
Thanks,
taking the
Chris.
hot seat, and go Dodgers.
All right. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Great.
Make me all nervous already for the
Yeah.
next game.
I love it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.